everybody. Good morning. So, I've been having so much pain in waking up in the morning, getting my back able to actually sit up. I'm one of those people that now that I'm pregnant, I have to sleep on my left side. And I bought this, super fancy pregnancy pillow and everything, and I still can't seem to actually stay on my left side. I always end up on my back, and that leaves me waking up in the morning with extreme back pains. So, sorry, this is actually the morning for me. So I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about what I do in the morning to kind of loosen my back up. And this isn't just for people who are pregnant, who are experiencing back pain. This is literally anyone who, when you wake up in the morning, how to kind of relieve some back pain. Obviously, those of you who are pregnant, the movements are going to be a little bit smaller, especially when we get into some of the back bends, some of the twists, even the side bending. Your movements are going to be restricted a little bit. But those of you who are waking up with just generally with back pain, this is really going to help as well. And, you can start with the small movements that you see me doing, and then, expand it as you can. Those of you who have a couple extra minutes, continue on doing this. I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible because I know sometimes mornings can be rushed and we need something that's really just 10 minutes, get up, get moving. We need to be able to move our spine now. So this is going to be as short as I can possibly make it, but if you have extra time, please, I implore you, take that time to wake your body up. So yeah, and yes, this is the morning. So yes, this is what I sleep in. I do not do the fancy PJs. I do old t-shirts and basketball shorts. All right. So a lot of mornings I will actually do this under the blankets. I'm going to come down to the end of the bed today to kind of show you guys everything. But honestly, typically I stay under the blankets while I do this. So, excuse my messy bed. We like to kick the blankets a lot. All right. Oh. So normally when I start out, right, I'm trying to sleep. Wrong side already. I'm trying to sleep on my left side, right? I end up on my back and I'm just in so much pain. So the first thing I do is I roll to the side. So I'm rolling to my left side. And then once I'm on my left side, while I'm laying here, you guys can't really notice it because it's very, very small movements, but I'm just starting to relax my spine, let it find its natural curves. And I just take a few minutes here, just let my spine slowly find its way back to its natural position. And I do this on my side because there's a lot of curves, right, in our spine. And sometimes when we're laying on our stomach or laying on our back, gravity can kind of pull our spine out of those natural curves. So I go on my side and I let my spine just find its way to its natural position. And while I do this, I just take a few deep breaths. Breathing into the belly, breathing into the rib cage, really just filling up my body with the air. And then I'm going to take it to all fours. So I do this again really slowly. Creaking and cracking the whole way. Ooh. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to continue working on those natural curves of my spine, and I'm going to do this in a tabletop. So I've got my tabletop and I'm very gently just starting to get those rounding parts of my spine and those arched parts of my spine. So I'm kind of doing a cat-cow here. For me in the mornings, I really just need to round my back. But listen to your body and just arch and round the spine as you need. And this is where I spend the most of my time. So like for me, like I said, I need a lot of rounding. So I spend a lot of time with my back rounded out and just taking nice deep breaths. For those of you who need that arching, you know, you can do that as well. You just find that nice arch and just take a few deep breaths. Let yourself sit a little bit with that uncomfortability and just breathe through it, because that's going to make standing so much easier when it comes time to do that. And then we're going to take a little bit of time, so come back to the tabletop, right? If your wrists hurt, you can always do this on a fist. And we're actually going to do a little bit of C-spine, so kind of turning side to side. Again, just being very gentle with this. These aren't going to be very big movements. If you do decide to continue these like C-spine movements and kind of take it to the next level, you can always take one leg. So let's start with the right leg. You would take it over to the left side and then look back at those right toes. So you would look over the left shoulder. So that's not something my spine can do this early in the morning. But if you have the ability to do that, and you have the time to do it and kind of really stretch it out, please go ahead. Feel free to do that. And then I start to couple this movement. So I couple the rounding and the arching with my side to sides. So like I said, for me, I focus a lot on rounding. So I just go into a rounded back, and I use that rounded back to look over my right shoulder and look over my left shoulder. You can go ahead and switch that to an arched back, right? And again, looking over the right and the left. Maybe get the lower part of your spine involved. Let your hips move a little bit. Let the movement get larger as you go. And then bring yourself back to a tabletop and sit back on your heels. So this is just an extra little rounding I like to do. Those of you who enjoy a little extra rounding, what you do is you come to your heels, you hunch your shoulders forward, bring your hands out in front of you, and just lean into your hands and really tuck your chin towards your chest. For those of you who maybe need a little bit more opening and arching, you can take your hands behind your back and clasp them. If you can't grab your hands, if those of you who have maybe a blanket or a strap or anything nearby that you can kind of clasp both hands on, a blanket will work, honestly. So I'm going to come to this side so I can use the blanket. But you just grab the blanket behind you like this. You know, you can inch your hands closer if you need. You can inch your hands further away if you need, right? And you just find something that's going to work for you there. So I like to clasp my hands right there and just squeeze the shoulder blades back, pulling them together, opening up the chest. And then you can go ahead and look up at the ceiling. And this is, for all of you, this is going to be like the biggest one, right? So you're doing a nice big heart opener here, or you're doing a nice enclosed rounding of the upper back. And then we're going to come to all the way up. So let yourself roll the shoulders back a little bit. And you're just sitting up as nice and as tall as you can here. We're just going to do a little bit with our cervical spine. So I'm doing right ear to the right shoulder. Back up, left ear to the left shoulder. You can do that a few more times if you need it. I do just that. And then I'll do right ear to the right shoulder, and I'll go ahead and turn. So I'll bring my chin towards my chest, and then roll that right ear over the right shoulder. Let yourself look up at the ceiling. Turn the head back to neutral, and bring your head back up to center. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. So left ear to the left shoulder. And then we're going to roll that left ear over the shoulder. Turn the chin down towards the chest. Rolling over the shoulder, turn the head, bring it up towards the ceiling. Turn the head back to center and bring the head back up. And then, pretending that there's a marker on the very top of your head, act as if you're drawing a circle on the ceiling. So you don't want to make your head movements too big here. We are still waking up, right? And go in the opposite direction. And then I do a few more side bends. So let the head come back to center. We're going to tilt over towards the left and tilt towards the right. Keeping these nice and small, tilting left and right. Now we're going to go in for a hold, and we're going to make it a little bigger. So we're going to support ourselves. Left hand comes down, right hand up. Deep breath in, and gently as you exhale, lean over towards the left. Once you found a spot, just go ahead and hold that. Take a full breath. And come back up. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Support with that right hand. Left hand reaches up. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lean over towards the right. Deep breath. And then come back up. So again, that one was very small. If you keep doing it, you're welcome to allow the movement to get more expansive and larger. That's typically what I start off with. If I feel that I need it, I might do a slight twist. And again, I keep it very small. It's a breath in. I bring my hands up to right here. As I exhale, I turn. And wherever I land, I land. So these aren't deep twists, just enough to get the spine moving. Breath in, lift the hands up. Exhale, twist. Bring the hands down. And back to center again. So those are all very small movements that I do almost every day now, just to wake my spine up and get me upright before I actually put my feet on the floor. And sometimes I need more stretches and I need to stay in my bed like an extra 15 minutes. Sometimes I need less, and I can narrow this down to maybe a 5-minute routine. So it's really up to you how much your body needs. You really need to listen to your body with this. But those of you who are struggling with back pain, whether it's due to pregnancy or due to whatever it is, If you're waking up every morning and your back is just on fire from sleeping, then these are some of the things that you might want to look at trying to incorporate before you even roll out of bed. Yes, roll, because I can't sit up out of bed anymore. This bed is quite high, so I roll.